when you are a soldier of reaction, you're fully not prepared for whatever action that has happened. You're merely reacting without strategically thinking, without tactically planning and devising a plan. I don't want to be a soldier of reaction. I don't want you guys to be a soldier of reaction, not in this economic battle that we're in. It's a currency war going on right now, whether you guys understand it or not. And I ask people all the time, do you gamble? And most people I talk to in my circle say no. And I let people know you do gamble. Every day that you are not doing anything in this economy, you're betting that the dollar is stable. You're gambling your life and you're gambling your family's stability on the fact that nothing's going to happen. Okay, well, when you really understand the dollar and when you understand fractionalized lending, when you understand the central banks around the world and how they work, you know that this dollar is going to crash. It's designed to crash. Every dollar, every fiat currency around the world is designed to crash, and then they create new ones. Okay, that's just the way it goes. But what happens in that process is lives are sacrificed. Okay, families, homes, riches, and wealth, okay, is sacrificed in that process. So what you really want to do is you guys want to understand the rules of the game, and that's the only way you can really play the game and win, okay? Because there's no way you can play a basketball game if you don't understand what a foul is, if you don't understand what traveling is, if you don't understand what a technical foul is. I mean, you have to know certain rules. I don't care how good you are in any sport, you have to learn the rules. So what would make it any different with money? Why is it that we don't understand the rules of money? Okay, we have to understand the rules of money. There's a book out right now. I think I wrote it down called, there's a book that you guys want to read called All the President's Bankers by Noni Prinza. I think her last name is Prinza. You want to get that book. I got the book wrote down. I'll put it up here later after when my business partner comes on and does his thing. I'll put the name of the lady up, and she really breaks down the economy. You also want to read Mike Mahoney's book. You know, Mike Mahoney wrote a book about the hidden secrets of money. You know, you definitely want to read that. And this will make you guys really understand the dynamics of how money operates. Now, over the weekend, I was studying something about Germany. I thought it was quite interesting that there's a market out now. There's a market out for privacy applications. You guys are seeing a lot of privacy applications come out where you can talk or text. It's encrypted. Have you guys noticed? There's a lot of those coming out because there's so much with technology. Technology has actually violated so much of our privacies to where now there's a market for privacy applications. And a lot of these technologies are coming out of Germany, and I'm realizing that in 1940 something, Germany just had a dictator, right? Hitler. So after Hitler, Germany became adamant about privacy of its citizens. Okay, and Germany said something in one of their writings I read over the weekend. It was quite interesting. Germany's attitude is you can measure a country's freedom by the privacy, by the level of privacy that they have. Now, if that's the rule and criteria for freedom, we don't have a lot here in America because a lot of our privacies when it comes to finances are gone. For whatever reason, oh, terrorists, oh, we're watching out for you guys, we're looking out for you guys so there's no money laundering or whatever. But whatever the reason, the results is you guys have had a lot of your privacy taken, okay? So let's look at that definition for a minute. If we can have more privacy when it comes to our financing, when it comes to our money, when it comes to transactions, that means more freedom, okay? And when you don't have freedom, woo, this is interesting. When you don't have privacy and freedom, when it comes to your financials, when it comes to your currency, when it comes to the transactions and payments, it creates an atmosphere where you have somebody in office like Donald Trump. Wow. So the Donald Trump syndrome right now for me is a result of the violation of our privacies. It has led to a certain atmosphere that creates this certain dictator mindset in the leadership. Wow, interesting, huh? So that's what I'm seeing. So this is why cryptocurrency is so important. It's so valuable because it restores our privacy in the financial arena. It restores the buyers and sellers and the market to correct itself. It allows the market to create its own value. It allows transactions to create its own value, and not interest rates, not a Federal Reserve, not central banks, not any other exterior thing other than business and transactions themselves. That is, to me, the definition of true market reaction, true market interaction, true market value. So cryptocurrency is actually retraining the way people think about money. Okay, now you guys are all really ahead of the game. You guys are so ahead of the game, it's not even funny. It's not even funny how far you guys are ahead of the game. And so it would be a shame if we did not take advantage of our positioning. Okay, it's almost like you guys are standing on third base and somebody come up and hit the ball and you just stand there on third base. Then somebody else hit the ball, you just gonna stand there on third base. Then somebody else hit, you can't stay on third base. You gotta come home, okay? So with the knowledge and the information that you guys are getting, you have to make this work for you and your family. The money is not gonna fall in your pocket, okay? You can accumulate the knowledge, but the money is not gonna fall in your pocket. You gotta get up, get out, and get it. So with that, we're gonna go ahead into the webinar. I wanna share with you guys, I'm gonna pull up the screen right now. I see Stanley made it in. What's going on, Stan? Everybody's here. We're gonna do a brief, quick webinar here, and then I'm gonna let Stanley come in and talk to you guys about some money. How about that? And then he's gonna show you guys how you can get started. But I do wanna share this with you guys. Let me go ahead and share my screen. 1 second here.
Hello.
Hello.
It's Audrey. I'm on a different phone, so Mike.
What's going on, Miss Audrey?
How you doing? Doing just fine.
Wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm out with at the store with Arthur and two of his buddies, young men, sons, and I love for them to be able to hear this. As soon as they get back in the truck, they'll be able to hear this Zoomcast, and that would be awesome because we were discussing digital currency.
Wow, great, awesome. Could you imagine, Miss Audrey, if you had this knowledge at 20 years old, 25, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're only 27 now, but I'm saying,
27, I ain't no 27, I'm 18.
She said, I'm 18. Yeah, so if we had this knowledge, I mean, not even of cryptocurrency, but just about money. If we understood about money at an early age, I mean, really the principles of how to master money, knowledge itself could have taken us to a whole nother level. There's a lot of people. Hello? Could you guys mute your phones? I'm going to go ahead and mute you guys if you haven't muted your phones. I need everybody to mute their phones so we can get through this without a lot of interruptions. Okay, I think everybody is muted. Thanks, you guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this thing done. It's just funny to me to see David sitting at home for a change. Usually he's at work, so it just looks like he's really relaxed. So let's go ahead and get through this webinar, you guys. I see Miss Rainisha. Thank you, Miss Rainisha, for tuning in. Welcome to the Family Cash Machine. And we're going to go ahead into this webinar. Let me see. Let me blow this up for you guys. Okay, you guys, the best way to explain cryptocurrency to people and keep it simple, let them know that it's a peer-to-peer transaction. Okay, it's an encryption. It's an actual mathematical encryption, and It allows people to send money without a third party, without banks, without MoneyGram, without Western Union, without bank wire transfers or anything like that. It's really the future of payments and transactions, I believe. You know, it's the banks are not too happy about it, of course, because it's eliminating fees. But whenever we can minimize those fees, we're actually helping people, because people don't have all these fees, this money for transactions. There's over $600 billion a year spent in what is called remittance fees, which is, Hispanics or Israelis or Palestinians or Africans or whoever sending money back to their home. There's over $600 billion that the banks make every year just on remittance fees. So this right here is something that foreigners will be very interested in as far as the cryptocurrency aspect of it. And also it's an anonymous system. It allows people to move money anonymously, which is your privacy, which is your right to do. Okay. So this particular journey we are on is creating and is about to create the greatest of exchange of wealth you guys have ever seen in the history of this world. Right now, you guys are about to witness one of the greatest economic clashes, crashes, disasters ever in the history of the world, because there's never been a time that every currency around the world was in debt and in trouble, okay, and ready to crash simultaneously. There's never been a time that every currency simultaneously was ready to crash. And this is where we're at right now. Even some countries have already defaulted. Greece defaulted on their loan. I think Venezuela right now is in a disastrous condition. You have India just a few months ago announced that 86% of their currency is worth nothing. So it's serious, man. It's crunch time right now. China and Russia are all coming together to try to empower themselves and exclude American dollars and exclude America and pretty much save themselves from the disaster that they see coming. Okay, now the internet, most of us realize it started in 1994. You know, I was not really on the internet when it first started, but what happened was I was able to use the internet around 94, 95, 96. I started to get on the internet like most of you guys, but I didn't really look at it from an investor's point of view. I remember when AOL started, and I had to research this to look at this, because we're in a position now where we're heading into a second phase of the internet. This is the first phase of the internet. The first phase of the internet was pretty much the informational highway, okay? It was created by scientists and physicists so they could be able to share files, share reports, and share analyses with each other. That's what the internet was created for, but it ended up eventually becoming something else, okay? And the people wanted to use the internet. It started around 1994. You had several opportunities created. You had Earthlink, you had Netscape, Firefox, Safari. You had all these companies that were bidding for your business just to connect you to online, okay? And it's a lot of companies. There was hundreds of companies. And now we have probably about 2 or 3 of them. We got Gmail, we got Yahoo, AOL, that's pretty much it, but it was a huge, huge opportunity for people to create business and to create wealth, okay, for generations and generations. But most of the people are creatures of habit. So we didn't make that adapt. We didn't adapt to it as fast as people with the investor mindset, okay? 1995, this is interesting to me when I saw this, and there's a video you guys can see on this where Brian Gumbel on today's show said, what is the internet? How do you use it? What is that A? What is that circle around the A? What do you do? Type into it or what? I mean, every time I watch that video, it just amazes me at how, like I said, human beings are creatures of habit, and when new technological changes come, we don't move on it right away. Investors, people with investor mindsets, they see this stuff, they jump on it. Katie Couric went as far as saying, I have no desire to be on the internet because I feel inundated with information at all the time. I don't want more information. Don't you feel like this? It's a constant bombardment of information. So basically, this is what I'm seeing in this. When the internet first started, okay, you have a woman and African-American male who has the influence of about 40 million Americans, okay? And they were really talking negatively about something they had no understanding of, okay? But my point is, even though they had the power to negatively influence 30 to 40 million people, it wasn't enough to stop the spreading of the internet, because the technology was more important than the ignorance of people. See, that's the point. So it's the same thing with cryptocurrency. The technology and the benefits that people are going to have using it is far more valuable than people's lack of knowledge of what it is. Okay, so basically, it doesn't matter what you guys think. It doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. This stuff is going to happen with us or without us. So all we're doing is positioning ourselves to come into this more from an investment side. Okay, now whenever I mention cryptocurrency to people, this is pretty much how they look. This is how I used to look when I first heard about cryptocurrency. I had no idea. And to this day, if you guys go to the grocery store right now, you guys go to the mall and you say cryptocurrency, you're not going to know what you're talking about. And that's great for you guys, because the timing of this thing is so ripe for you guys to get in now and to leverage what you know in this industry. Okay, the first few decades of the internet was called the informational highway. Okay, and why am I talking about the internet? Because this thing is being called the second phase of the internet. Okay, the first phase of the internet was about information. We're still in that phase. The internet's not going to go anywhere no time soon, but something is interesting happening right now. Something very interesting is happening with this new phase of the internet. In the first few decades, you had several opportunities created with browsers. You had email companies. You had the www.com era. You had social, big media, big data, Google, the Google clouds, the iClouds, the computer clouds. All of this, now we're into what I call shared marketing, semi-shared marketing with the Ubers, the Airbnbs, and stuff like that. Okay, it created and it has created so many opportunities for an explosion of wealth. So many families now have made money on the internet. The internet has been going since 1994. Now we're in 2017. Wow, that's over 20-something years, and it's still able to create multimillionaires, okay? Now, we have here, many of us missed that opportunity. I know I did. I missed the investment side of the internet, okay? I came in as a consumer like most of you guys saw it as a consumer. Now it's time to step our game up, okay? AOL, MySpace, Google, Microsoft, we missed all these opportunities from an investment side of it, okay? So you got a second chance, okay? You got a second chance. Second chances only come once, okay? So you got to dive in. You got to jump in. People with business minds, they take risks. They jump in things. They evaluate once and they jump in and they go, okay?
Calculated risk.
In 2008, let me see if I can mute. Somebody, could you guys mute your phones? Make sure your phones are muted. In 2008, we had what was called the, let me see. In 2008, we had a global, I call it a global economic meltdown, pretty much. The entire economy around the world, wasn't just America, crashed. And there was a person by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto, if that's his name. Nobody really knows his name. He stayed anonymous, and I understand why he stayed anonymous, because he was in a very dangerous position to create a new protocol, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system based on cryptographic code and cryptocurrency, called cryptocurrency, and they named it Bitcoin. Okay, it's a digital currency. It's different from fiat currency. It's different from any, paper currency, and that it's not controlled by any governments. It's not controlled by any central banks, interest rates, or nothing like that. Okay. Basically, when the internet was started, you guys, it really wasn't designed for money. When the internet was started, again, it was designed to transfer information from scientists and doctors and stuff like that. It's an informational highway. It really wasn't designed for money, because they had what was called the double spin problem. The double spin problem, really what it is, like I said, when you guys send a document on the internet, I know you send you send a title or something to someone, and you're really sending them a copy of your PDF file. And if you look in your PDF file, you still have a copy of that email. Well, that's called the double spin problem in computer language. So that wouldn't work for money. When it comes to money, you know, I can't purchase an item from, say, Al, and then keep that $100. I send him $100, but then I keep a copy of that $100 in my email. That won't work when it comes to money. So the internet really was never designed for money. What happened was when they saw millions of people gravitating to this internet and people were spending more time on the internet than they were on TV, department stores wanted to be in front of that traffic, and you can't blame them. They wanted to be in front of people. And so they created online shopping, online stores, and people put out their credit cards and went crazy buying stuff online, and it became a big trend. But what happened after years of that, we had a thing called hackers. And hackers would get your information. They would get into your account. They would steal your credit. They would steal your social. And so now that's a huge problem in the internet industry, but it's because it never was really designed for money. Now, what Satoshi Nakamoto created was called the blockchain. They realized after 2013, when Bitcoin went from 10 cents a coin to $1,300 or $1,200, it created a huge buzz on Wall Street as well as the technological arena. So what happened was they realized now that there's a technology behind cryptocurrencies even larger than the cryptocurrency itself, and that's called blockchain technology. It has several capabilities. Currencies is only one, okay? Now, currency is something huge. I tell you guys all the time that when you look at Wall Street and the volume of money that goes on Wall Street in a year, the volume of money that goes on the Asian Wall Street in a year, the volume of money that's traded on the Canadian Wall Street, the volume of money that's traded on the Australian Wall Street, the volume of money that's traded on all the Wall Streets around the world, all the volume in 1 year only equates 1 day of trading in Forex. That's how much money is in the world. So you guys being in an industry that has the capability of becoming a new currency, this is why I'm saying that this is going to be the largest of exchange of wealth ever in the history of the world, okay? So with the blockchain, there's several capabilities. It's just like cryptocurrency is just, say, emails. Emails is not the whole function of the internet. It's just one aspect of what the internet can do. So that's the same thing with the blockchain. Cryptocurrency is just one aspect of what this thing can do. But let me show you how it works. It's actually, when I send a transaction to Miss Raynisha, and I may send one to her by the end of this call. If she downloads while I'm talking, Miss Raynisha, Bitcoin wallet, download Bitcoin wallet right now on your phone if you can. I don't know if you're watching this on your phone, or go to blockchain.info and download a wallet. It's free, and I'll send you $1 or so when this call is over and show you the power of how fast this thing works and you know how it actually works. But what's happening when I send her that $1, it sends out, it creates a block. Okay, you guys see that in the illustration number 2. And then that block goes out to everybody in that particular network. Right now, Bitcoin could have a couple 100 million people in its network. So when a transaction goes out, it actually goes out to everybody in that network. And then everybody in that network verifies the transaction. They validate the transaction without actually validating it personally. Their computer validates it. So once that happens, then the transaction goes through. This all happens in seconds, okay? And sometimes it takes a few minutes to happen because there's so many people in this blockchain. What that does is alleviate a central point. That's what these guys, where is it at? Thrive on, the hackers. They thrive on that central point, that one central point. Like, for instance, if we were all using, say, Western Union, and if they hacked into Western Union, that's only one central point they have to hack into, and then from there, they have access to millions of people's information. That's what hacking is about. But when you have a distributed ledger all over the world, where every transaction is pretty much validated by the people, there's no central point, and it's virtually impossible for somebody to hack 100 million people simultaneously around the world at one time. Can't be done. That's why the blockchain is unhackable. So now we're talking about a more secure system. We're talking about a faster system to send money. We're talking about a more cheaper system to send money. So what do you think people are going to use? They're going to go with the cheaper, the more secure, and the faster. Okay, because whenever you're in business, Ms. Renisha is a businesswoman, money and time is synonymous. There's a movie, I watched a movie with Justin Timberlake, and they were using time as money. I thought that was an interesting movie because when you ran out of time, you died. But you could, when you went to work, you worked for time. And they put time on your life. It was interesting. You guys might want to watch that movie. Bitcoin had about 255,000 people. It took about 8 years or 6 years for it to go from 10 cents in 2009 to $1,200 in 2013. Literally was a phenomenon. Took about 6 years, made hundreds of thousands of people millionaires overnight. Now, some of you guys on the phone might want to put your money into this, and the first thing you're going to say is, Eric, if I put my money in this, how do I get paid right away? Well, I'm going to say this to you. I want you guys to have a long-term vision with this. You know, of course, I can show you how to pull your money out right away, but it's not about pulling your money out right away. This is a long-term investment. We want you guys to think about this as an investment, as an investor. So for instance, let's say you guys put some money into this today, and in 2 years, your money is worth $1 million. To me, that's overnight. I don't know about some people, but 2-3 years to me is overnight, because there's some people that go their whole life and never seen $1 million. 5 years is overnight. It took these people 6 years to make millions of dollars. And I'm gonna show you guys a couple of them right now. This young man right here, this is a true story. Christopher Koch, he invested 150 kroner in his country, which was approximately about 26 American dollars. He bought 5,000 Bitcoins in 2009. He bought these and he did some type of thesis for a school on encryption. He forgot about it. And then some couple of years later, I think it was like 4 years later, he started hearing a lot about peer-to-peer transactions and cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. So he went to go look at this thing that he purchased. It was worth $899,000. This is a true story. From $26. Could you guys imagine? That's why I say, you know, today, if you guys see Bitcoin at $1,200 right now, there's economists right now that's saying that Bitcoin is going to be worth in 5 years probably 100,000 a coin. In 10 years, probably $1 million a coin. There's several economists saying this. So if you guys can buy it even under $2,500 a coin, remember there's only 16 million of these things. That's it. You can't make these. You can't make them like they make money. So there's a limited commodity. There's a limited amount of these things. So it's going to continue to go up in value because more and more and more people want to use it. The more people want to buy it, the bigger the name brand gets, the more expensive it's going to get. This is called the most expensive pizza ever in the world. One of the programmers, I keep getting his name wrong, Laszlo Yananitz, a programmer, he actually mined 10,000 Bitcoins. And in the Family Cash Machine, soon, myself and Stanley will be creating a mining company here where you guys will be able to invest in actual mining of these coins. We may not do Bitcoins, but we'll probably do some other coins. But nevertheless, they're going to be worth a lot of money in the future. But this guy mined over 10,000 coins, and in May 22nd, 2014, you know, he wanted to buy 2 pieces. He felt like, really, okay, I bought these coins from out of nothing to, you know, $25, $30 worth of coins. I basically created them from nothing, from a computer algorithm. So he felt like he was getting a pretty decent deal, and he went and bought 2 pieces from Papa John's Pizza. And then when Bitcoin went up to 2013 to $1,200, that would have made that pizza worth $12 million. I don't think that looks like a $12 million pizza to me. And if I was the guy who gave up 10,000 Bitcoins in 2013, I probably want to see a pizza today if I know I gave up $12 million. This is actually a true story. You guys can find this in the New York Times and I think Forbes magazine too. Okay, here's a guy, Jarrett. He purchased about 5,000 Bitcoins for 20 cents. Okay, he bought 1,000 of them, and he turned around and turned them in for $1.2 million. This is some serious stuff, and I got thousands of stories like this. I just use these few little stories for you guys and to show you guys how serious this industry is. And I'm going to let Stanley come in, and I just wanted to let you guys know you can't go wrong right now with this with this particular technology. There's about 5 coins that we're watching closely. We're watching Bitcoin, Ethereum coin, and a lot of people don't realize that Ethereum actually has the capability of processing faster than Bitcoin. So Bitcoin processing is not as fast as Ethereum. Ethereum is also a smart contract platform. I think recently you just had JP Morgan and Chase, and now you just had Santander Bank. You also have had Bill Gates has now put $400 million into Ethereum. There's several companies now using the Ethereum platform. This company is set up right now to do just some great things. So I want you guys to stay with the Family Cash Machine. We're going to train you guys how to get involved with these coins, how to determine certain coins, how to evaluate these coins, how to mine coins, and eventually we're going to also be probably purchasing ATMs on the Family Cash Machine, because there's still a lot of room for you guys to purchase ATMs, Bitcoin ATMs. There's not enough of them right now, and a lot of them are really expensive, too expensive. So I mean, I want to beat some of their prices. I mean, of course, you guys are entitled to make some money, but I mean, I don't like to hit people over the head. Like some of these ATMs are actually $200 per coin over the market value. So $100 to me is enough, but that's just me. But I believe in volume, okay? I believe in volume, and if you do enough transactions at $100 profit, and you're doing, I just believe in a fast nickel better than a slow dime. And if you turn that nickel over enough times, you know, it's going to make more money than the guy who's making that slow dime. So with that, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and let Stanley come in and show you guys how you can get involved with Ethereum, with its trade. It's a trading platform. There's over 600 cryptocurrencies in the world, and I want to warn you guys, all of them are not going to do good. There's just a lot of companies that's riding the wave right now of this trend, but they have no real plan and no real execution to make their coin a exchangeable unit of exchange and commerce and trade and transactions. We're watching and we're analyzing the companies that actually have a real plan to become a unit of exchange in the world of consumerism. Those are the ones that I'm interested in. And it was the same way in the internet. In the beginning of the internet, you had all those email companies. Where are they at now? Where are they now? They're gone, because they just took advantage of a trend, and you can't blame them. But I'm only interested in companies that look like they have some longevity, okay? So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and let Stanley. Stanley, are you there? What's up, Stanley? I see you text something here. Okay, Stanley must have got off. Okay, I'm gonna open up for some questions and answers. You guys got any questions and answers before I go into some of the income? Any questions?
Hey, I got a question.
Any questions? No questions?
Yeah, once you get on.
Eric,
Yeah.
you hear me? This is Samuel.
It's Stanley Morgan.
No, this is Sam. Samuel.
What's going on, Sam?
Hey, how you doing, E? How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Hey, I got a question. I haven't been on for a while because, as you know, but I've been keeping up on my own, studying and researching. When you was naming the companies, the top crypto companies that you're dealing with, my phone went out. Can you rename them? Because Ethereum, it's funny you say Ethereum because I had my eyes on that. Of course, Bitcoin, and this one called Monero.
Yeah, Monero is a good one. Monero is a good one. I'm gonna name the top 6 that I think that you should gravitate
I
to.
want to write it down. Yeah.
Okay, of course, Bitcoin. Bitcoin,
Right.
and I told people this months ago. I said Bitcoin is probably going to end up $1 million, only because of its intrinsic value. What I mean is, you got to remember, Ethereum came out like 6-7 years after Bitcoin. So of course technology had evolved. So it was a much better technology available for those people who created the Ethereum. But Bitcoin is going to always have more value than all of them because of, there's some people out there, man, like for instance, I make this example with the Ford car. Let's say the first Ford cars that came out, they probably cost about $35 or something, or money was real cheap back then, or maybe $200. But let's say they came out, and then after about 20 years, the technology of cars advanced. Cars were able to go faster. They were able to ride smoother. Okay, but that old car that Ford made, the first Model T, was in somebody's garage, somebody's barnyard, and it was collecting dust, probably all disseminated, disassembled. And so now you're going to pay $3-4 million for that car, not because of the functionality of it, because the functionality is outdated. It's just because of the intrinsic value of it being the first one. So remember, Bitcoin is the first one, period. So if you can't go wrong by owning Bitcoins. It is the first cryptocurrency on the planet Earth. Then you got Ethereum, okay, which is probably set to do some of the same things that Bitcoin has done. It may not go as high as Bitcoin, but I believe it's going to be in the thousands of dollars. It could be $3,000 to $5,000 a coin. I don't know. It's going to get up there. Right now, it's under $20. This is the time to buy those damn coins. Right now, you buy you some Ethereums, okay? The platform that we're in right now, they trade for you Ethereums and Bitcoins. They pay you 15 to 25% interest on your money, whatever it is you invest. I'm going to go to that in a minute. But I was trying to give Stanley a chance to come in because he hits that boom, boom, boom. He hits some points real good. And I'll pull it up in a minute if he doesn't come in. But I want to share this with you guys. Ethereum is right now, it's at 2 years. And 2 years in the game, Bitcoin at 2 years was about $15. Okay, it took 6 years for Bitcoin to get to the point where it's at. But at 2 years in the game, Bitcoin was at $15. Well, guess what? Ethereum is at $20. So it's right on track to do the same, if not as much as Bitcoin has done. Then you have probably after that, you got Litecoin. Okay, Litecoin is using the same technology as Bitcoin. In fact, they're going to probably be using this coding called SegWit, which is segregated witness, which is going to allow them to pretty much go darker than they are underground, where they can go off of the grid of the blockchain and still do transactions. But the main thing is they're holding firm to anonymity. It's hard for me to say that word. Anonymity, being anonymous. They're going either further into becoming more anonymous, where you won't be able to, track those transactions. You can see them because you can see the hashtag and the encryption number on the blockchain. You guys all been on the blockchain, as you can see on blockchain.info or any blockchain wallet. You can see just an encrypted code, but you don't see who sent that money, where they sent it to, how, you can see how much it is and what the fee is, but you can't see anybody. So that's a wonderful thing. But so Litecoin, Monero coin. No, number 4 is actually Ripple coin. That's the number 4. And they're basing that on the cap rates, okay? The market capitalization rate. That's what they're basing that on, okay? Let me go ahead and show you guys the market cap rate. I think I got it right here. We can look at the top coins. And then after Ripple, Ripple is only 6 cents. And I was wondering for the last 6 months or so why Ripple for the last couple of years has been so cheap. It's like 6-7 cents. But this is the time to buy Ripples. Wow. Let's say right now, if I want to get 100 Ripples, I can do it for $60. If I want to get 200 Ripple coins, I can spend $120. Let's say I spend $120 for the next, 10 weeks. 10 weeks I do that. Okay. And I just keep, and that's 200. I got over 2,000 Ripple coins. Okay. And I buy 2,000 Ripple coins for 6 cents. What's going to happen when that coin is worth $500 or $600? It's going to happen because Ripple is a technology that is the blockchain that they're using is compatible with bank software, banks and financial companies. So what's going to happen is as banks get a lot of Bitcoins and Ethereum coins and Monero coins, they're going to be converting those coins into Ripple coins because that coin works better with their software in the financial arena. So it's just not time yet for that coin because a lot of people are still finding out about cryptocurrency. But eventually, once the banking institutions start to accumulate a lot of these cryptocurrencies, they're going to be converting them into Ripple coins because it works better with their softwares that they use, okay? So I would stock up on them right now. I'm really looking hard at them right now. I was talking to, I think Alex is on the phone. I think me and him was talking about, I know Winslow. Yeah, me and Winslow were talking about that. And I said, man, I'm about to stock up on these Ripples and just sit on them because I can buy them so cheap right now. But let me share with you guys. And then Dash. Don't forget Dash Coin. And you should be good. Somebody raised
that night y'all had that conversation about the Ripple. I went right and bought some.
Say that again.
That night y'all had that conversation about the Ripple. As soon as we got off the call, I bought some.
How did you buy it? That's a good. Huh?
How did I buy it?
Yeah. What did you?
I used that Shapeshift application. Okay. That showed you. Yeah, I used Shapeshift and I just did.
David talking?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. Okay, go ahead, David.
Yeah, I used that Shapeshift and I just I traded $10 worth of BTC and into Ripple.
Go ahead, Dave. He just jumped out there.
Yeah, Shapeshift allow you to change whatever coin to whatever coin you want. You just put one coin on the other side, on one side, the other coin on the other side. Make sure you link each wallet up and then make the transaction for you. Take it from one wallet, put it to the next.
Wow. Okay, now David sent me
Shapeshift.com.
Yeah, Shapeshift. David sent me the link. I'm gonna make sure I send it to the whole team. And thanks, David. We appreciate that. And that's what makes our team so powerful. Is one person can't find everything. There's so many resources out there. It's incredible. So when you have a group of people doing it together, it makes it more powerful because David is finding stuff, Mike is finding stuff, Winslow, Vince, everybody is finding stuff that we didn't know about. I think it was that you, David, that told me about that was David that told me about the debit card now that we can use with our Bitcoin accounts.
Yes, sir. I got mine right in my pocket.
Yeah.
How much you pay for it?
Yeah, they got debit.
It costs $10.
Okay.
And it's a one-time $10 fee, and they don't never charge you after the $10 fee.
Card up there. It's called BitPay.
BitPay. Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down. Did y'all get that?
Hey, Eric.
Yeah.
This is WV.
They actually got a lot of cards.
I just looked that up on. I just saw that on Saturday because BitPay is in Atlanta. They're in Atlanta, Georgia. They have an office in Atlanta, Georgia. So I had just looked because I was watching the movie on Saturday. I was watching a couple of big blockchain technology movies on Saturday, and they were talking about BitPay as one of the companies. And I said, hey, right in Atlanta, Georgia. So I looked them up and I started opening up an account.
Oh, that's one of the companies that was originated from the beginning of Bitcoin?
No, they were one of the companies, one of the companies that opened up a business and direct, because of Bitcoin.
Okay.
So they have a BitPay. It's a popular brand. As a matter of fact, the first time I heard about it was when Tom McMurray, he talked about it like a couple of months ago. And he said it was in Atlanta, Georgia, but it didn't click until I saw it on the movie. And I said, let me look that up. So I looked it up, and it's in Atlanta, Georgia. It's the office in Atlanta, Georgia, and they have a the same platform like the Ethereum, or not Ethereum, Bitcoin, for Bitcoin and other different like local Bitcoins and stuff like that. It's like the same thing.
This is one of the most exciting times to live, you guys. It's interesting because it's a double-edged sword. It's gonna be one of the worst times because you're gonna see people, really hurting and suffering, and you're gonna see people losing wealth like you wouldn't believe because their mindset is still stuck in the old paradigm, and they're not making the technological changes that they need to make in order to advance their businesses. Bill Gates said that if your business is not online within this next 2 or 3 years, you pretty much ain't making no money. Okay? So you got to really learn how to navigate technology right now. This is a technological revolution that we in. And the cryptocurrency is just an aspect of it. Cryptocurrency is a digital technology. It's a computer algorithm. And so if you are on top of technology right now, understanding what's happening, you're going to be one of the ones that's going to be made into the next, wealthy people. And I tell people all the time that it's not really about race right now as much as it is about information. What's going to happen is the rich and the poor is going to be the people that know and the people that don't know. That's basically what it's going to be. If you have knowledge and information, it's not going to matter what race you are. You're going to be able to position yourself to make money, period. And so if you don't know, it doesn't matter if you white or black. You can be white and don't know, you're going to be messed up. So either way, you gotta invest in knowledge. You gotta invest in getting information. And you guys right now, man, you're on it. I'm proud of everybody on our team. I was hoping to get a call. I was hoping that is Eric on the call right now? Eric, are you there? I don't see Eric here. And it's interesting, man. I'm seeing these colleges are charging $13,000 to $18,000 to learn what you guys are learning right now. They're charging people per semester. Hello, what's that? Per semester. Hey, what's going on, Michelle? How you doing?
Hey there.
They're charging people $18,000, man, to learn what you guys are learning now. Okay, so this information is powerful. They're giving you guys one semester. And then after they give you the knowledge of what cryptocurrency is, what the blockchain is, they're kicking you out the door. Okay, figure it out. I don't know how you're going to make money with that, but whatever. But you guys are not just learning cryptocurrency, you're learning how to make money with it. And you're learning how to apply it in a profitable way to leverage this knowledge and this information, because the family cash machine is designed for you guys to focus on generational wealth. Now we're using cryptocurrency and the blockchain as a vehicle to get the money. But at the end of the day, it's about wealth. It's not really about the money because you guys can make 20 million and then in 5 years be broke. It happens all the time. So as you guys are, as the family cash machine is developing millionaires, we will start teaching you guys more about trust funds, we will develop classes about foreign corporations, offshore accounts, and how to take your Bitcoins and even convert it into gold or silver. There's a lot of things that we need to do, man, to protect what you guys are getting ready to make. It would be a shame for somebody on this phone to make $50 million doing this here and then go broke. It would be a shame. So I don't want us to squander that off. That's really the whole purpose of what we're doing. Okay, because we can make anybody on this call that implements this information for 2 years, you're gonna have some money, period. But like I said, in my mindset, I'm at the then what stage of life. It's like, okay, Mike Daniels, you got 2 million, now what? Okay, Joseph, you got 5 million, now what? So that's where I'm at in my mind. It's the then what, the now what, and we got to think about that now. So as we start developing more people on this team that's making big numbers, we will start creating momentum with developing how to secure your money. That's really what it's about. Okay. So with that, I'm going to go ahead to the income. I think Stanley's phone went dead. He did send a text here, a chat, that his phone went dead. So I might have to do the income myself today. and I didn't want to do all that talking because my voice does get a little tired sometimes. But I'll go ahead and do what I got to do and get this thing going. Go ahead. You got a question?
I got an email today saying that I got a profit of 0.82% from